In this video, you will learn about HTML form attributes. So the attributes that you can use for form element are accept character set, action, autocomplete, entype, method, name, no validate, rel and target. Accept character set specifies the character encodings used for form submission. Action specifies where to send the form data when a form is submitted. Autocomplete specifies whether a form should have autocomplete on or off. Entype specifies how the form data should be encoded when submitting it to the server. Method specifies the HTTP method to use when sending form data. Name specifies the name of the form. No validate specifies that the form should not be validated when submitted. REL specifies the relationship between a linked resource and the current document. And target specifies where to display the response that is received after submitting the form. So in this HTML file, I have written 3 of the attributes that we just discussed over here. That is the action attribute, target attribute and method attribute. So first let's talk about the action attribute. Action attribute defines the action to be performed when the form is submitted. Usually the form data is sent to a file on the server when the user clicks on the submit button. So as you can see, the value that I have given in the action attribute is this, which is a URL, and it is a dummy URL. Which means that I have not created any such page. So on the browser, when I open this page and I click on submit button, it will show that your file could not be accessed. So basically in the value of the action attribute, you have to give the URL of a file on the server where you want to submit or where you want to send the data, and this particular file will perform the necessary actions on the form data. If the action attribute is omitted, the action is set to the current page. The next attribute is the target attribute. The target attribute specifies where to display the response that is received after submitting the form. So the target attribute can have one of the following values, that is blank, self, parent, top and frame name. So the blank attribute, for the blank attribute, the response is displayed in a new window or tab. For self value, the response is displayed in the current window. For parent value, the response is displayed in the parent frame. For top value, the response is displayed in the full body of the window. And for frame name, the response is displayed in a named iframe. So in this HTML file, for target attribute, I have given the value underscore blank, which means that the response is displayed in a new window or tab. So when I open this page on the browser, and when I click on submit button, this particular page will open in a new tab. So as you can see, there are 2 tabs. Whereas if I change the value of target attribute to self, and if I refresh my page and again click on submit button, just a second. And now if I click on submit button, you will see that this particular page will open in the same tab, and then you have to go back. If you have to go back in order to come to this page. So that is the use of target attribute. The next attribute is the method attribute. The method attribute specifies the HTTP method to be used when submitting the form data. So the method attribute can have two values, that is get and post. Now first let's talk about the get attribute. It appends the form data to the URL in the name value pairs. Never use get to send sensitive data. The length of a URL is limited, useful for form submissions where a user wants to bookmark the result, and get is good for non-secure data like query strings in Google. Whereas for post, it appends the form data inside the body of the HTTP request. Post has no size limitations and can be used to send large amounts of data, and form submissions with post cannot be bookmarked. Always use post if the form data contains sensitive or personal information. So in this HTML file, I have used get, as you can see over here. So that is it for this video. Thank you.